Hello friends, Namaskar. This is Karthik Pandit here again, episode number 7, as usual with my friend Dr. C.A. Chaitanya Shah. In this episode, we are going to speak on challenges that an MSME faces. And the challenges are many. But for this episode, we have selected 5 key challenges. And the first one that Chaitanya is going to speak about is on the skill set challenge that the entrepreneur faces. Let me share the screen.
Yes, friends, as Karthik mentioned, um, the challenges which are faced by the entrepreneurs and his limitations are many, and that poses a big constraint. We have identified 5 key areas where they have a huge challenge, which you can say A category challenges, and which we'll be dealing with in this particular episode. The first one is the skill set. What normally happens, an entrepreneur invariably either is a technocrat or coming from a family managed business. In case of a technocrat, what is happening? He has either the knowledge of the technology, which where he has worked or where his background is. Based on that, he feels he can start the business on this. And the second one, he may have some information about the market. With these two skill sets, he thinks he can start the business and run it successfully. But this knowledge is too limited for running a successful business organization. In case of family managed businesses, the skill set could be a big constraint. They have some family managed business background, either the it's a first generation or a second generation or a third generation, depending on their background and the exposure to the business. It matters, which we would be dealing maybe in one of the separate series part. But the skill set in both the cases is a big constraint because he doesn't have 360-degree view of the business the way it is to be run. The next constraint of an entrepreneur, or our next challenge, is a resource constraint. Resource constraint for our entrepreneur is a huge challenge when at the particular initial stage. First, biggest constraint is the finance. Second, his limited exposure to the challenges which he has to face as an owner or as a person who is going to run the business. And this will be in the form of other supplementary skill sets which he should have to run the business successfully. And this resource constraint, because of which he is not able to either recruit people or maybe outsource some of the talents which is required. Besides the money part, he or she, they may have a constraint in terms of exposure. Because they are starting a new business, they don't have enough exposure on what kind of challenges are going to come. So this resource constraint is a major one, and slowly and gradually, the entrepreneur has to cope up with this faster. They catch up with the constraints which are there. What are the limitations that they are having, and accordingly look for the resource. That
Yeah.
would really help them in a big way.
So when you say skill set, Chaitanya,
Hmm.
uh, how does a person, maybe the person knows that he's got a skill set limitation. The question is, how does he identify that limitation on the skill set, and what kind of resources would be available to him so that he's able to upscale himself as far as his skills are concerned?
Perfect. Perfect. Karthik, you have hit the nail. The skill sets, first of all, unfortunately, what is happening, most of the entrepreneurs, they don't know what are the limitations that they are having. They need to understand the limitations. And for this, I strongly suggest and recommend that they should attend some formal management development programs, either run by the entrepreneurial development institutes or by some of the business organizations like CII, SOCHM, or any of those type of organizations who are running this in a big way, because that will provide him with the theoretical background that what skill sets are required for the purpose of running a business. Unfortunately, as they start, they don't have any knowledge about what is required.
So the option that entrepreneur has is that he learns as he goes along, or he equips himself as he starts. So our view would be that rather than learn as you go along, it would be a better idea to equip yourself and have your skill set in place and then learn as you go along, because you have a long run to run your business for an over a period of time, and it would be important to invest in the initial stages on the skill rather than at a later stage. Would that be a correct interpretation for an entrepreneur to understand?
No, I would put it this way, that say, for example, you are going from Mumbai to Delhi, you should have your roadmap clear. If you start without a roadmap, you won't know where you are going. Similarly, the skill set issue is like same. You ought to know what are the different things or what are the different inputs required for running a successful business. If you are not aware of it, and which unfortunately my experience of so many years is that this is the biggest constraint. The entrepreneur or the owner of a business is somehow not getting to accept the situation that they lack this particular information, or they need to have this skill, or supplement it through outsourcing, or take the right people for advising them.
Yeah,
This is where they are.
while they are good on a particular skill, otherwise they would not be an entrepreneur. It is not enough to be good on one or two skills that a person should have, but maybe he needs, as you said, 360-degree view and 360-degree skills that are required to make a business into a success.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If
let's
you
go. Let's go on to the other set that we have.
resource constraint, we have seen. Now, third one, you put quality manpower. Now, this particularly for SMEs with turnover of maybe up to 100 crore, 200 crores, this is a major problem. The quality manpower, which is required to independently apply their mind in that particular function, is not there. Be it finance, be it production, be it marketing, be it HR, admin, any of the area you pick up in the business. And this quality manpower not being there, there is a big gap which is left out in the organization. And as a result, the owner as well as the organization suffers for lack of the quality manpower.
Yeah, but what you would find, what we have found, Chaitanya, that an entrepreneur has a bit of a dichotomy when he selects a person. He has to choose between honesty and efficiency. What we have found is that small entrepreneurs some other give importance to honesty rather than efficiency. The whole idea here on quality manpower would be to have a good balance in the employee between honesty and efficiency. Would you want to add on that?
It's a very difficult thing. I would like to avoid this thing, but still, since you have raised the issue, one of the things which I have found in my so many years of exposure is their biggest issue with the entrepreneur is, besides honesty or loyalty, they have a feeling, that someone who is known to them, they are more comfortable recruiting those people known, as well as those who will remain loyal to them, or they feel that these people are going to be loyal to me because they are recruited from so and so source, which is I think a very big topic or subject by itself. I can even quote some examples from my experience. But quality manpower, in short, I would put it this way: somebody who can handle the respective function independently. That is something which is required, and this is a constraint where the entrepreneur need to pay attention.
And as they say, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. So it is
Exactly.
better to pay the right money, get the right person, such that not see him as a competition, but see him as see that person, see that employee as somebody who's going to dedicate himself and bring in what is required in terms of his efficiency for the furtherance of the business.
In fact, I'll just add a little bit. This is where 1 and 3 has a interconnection, which maybe we'll deal with in some other episode. Let us go to the next challenge. Financial management. This is a thing, and if I use a little strong word, it is not just the financial management, but financial literacy. Most of the entrepreneurs, they have a huge gap in this area, and unfortunately, as a result, they depend on some people to get the support. And since they don't understand the thing, uh, it's causing a big problem in terms of creating a long-term viable unit. What is the profitability? How the decisions need to be evaluated financially? How the organization should basically have a profit planning and monitoring concepts, which would help them to remain on track and see that a very viable unit is being created in the long term. So financial management is a major area, because this is the core for which the organization is being established, which needs to be understood. And today, if you see most of the startups, if you see many of the startups are stuck up, be it Uber, be it Zomato, be it Byju's. All these people, they created a business model, but their basic constraint is the finance. Today, they have huge losses, which is mounting year after year, and they have to resort to some shortcuts thereafter.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should talk in detail about, because this is a subject which you can go on and on. I think we need to talk in detail about financial
separate.
management.
See, all
and
these
separate
issues we
thing.
can take up a separate, episode by itself. These
Yeah.
are all huge issues.
Yeah.
In this, we are just trying to bring to the audience some overview of what kind of challenges they are facing.
Absolutely.
Predicting and keeping with the challenges. Today, the business environment and the business ecosystem, because of the global level at which companies and the businesses are required to operate, has 3 things. One is competition, uncertainties. These are the 2 which are the major one. And the third one is the complexities. Every decision, earlier I remember, there used to be only you go to the bank or you go to the institution for working capital or the long-term loan. Today you have number of options which are available. The compliances which are required to be done are enormous. Sourcing of material, be it in India or be it getting from abroad. One of the person is looking, he has a ready-made material available. He is into fertilizers. Now, he doesn't know how to export it. So we are struggling, how to find the export market for this. So these challenges are something which, the entrepreneur should be able to handle it at his level with the right support. So these are the things which,
Absolutely. I think agility is the name of the game in current time, especially after COVID. People who are agile and who could adjust their business, work from home and remote in whichever way model you chose. I think agility is now a very important factor that plays an important role in any business. And all this we are talking for people who are hungry to grow the business and break the glass ceiling, whatever that ceiling may be for that particular person. Having said that, we come to the end of this episode, our episode number 7. As usual, please wait for our next episode. Do subscribe to our channel, and of course, we invite your comment on YouTube and on our by subscribing to our channel or putting your comments in the comment section. Having said that, if you wish to contact us, you could contact Dr. Chaitanya Shah at cshah01@yahoo.co.in or Karthik Pandit at karthik.pandit@gmail.com. Thank you, friends. Bye for now. See you till next time. Bye.